Morning everybody. I wouldn't say I had the best sleep until probably a little bit later. Once I did settle down, I sort of trusted that anchor watch a little bit. Yeah, I was right then, had a really good sleep. So it's a little bit later than what I was hoping. It's after 7 o'clock, that's all right. Obviously needed a sleep. What I do now is I'll get sorted and I'll take you around, I'll show you my setup. So you can have a bit of a look at what I've got on board, what I've got in here, what I brought along to just sort of make this couple of days happen. First thing I'm going to do though is have a coffee. Alright, I'll see you after the coffee. Now that I've had a little bit of coffee, I come up with a bit of a plan. I might just cook that trout up quickly and literally just have that trout for breakfast. Something small, bit of protein. I would have had enough protein yesterday for what I need, so have a little bit extra this morning. Then I'll give you a quick look at what I've brought on board. Then I'll pack everything up, which won't take very long. Get suited up, and there's a couple of bommies right here. As well as that, right now, right on this point just here, probably about 5 minutes ago, I noticed like a good sized log float past. I don't know if you caught my triple tail video, but anything like that now, I'm definitely going to suss it out. The triple tail video, it literally floated past me while I was in the water, but this is a bit more opportunistic, I suppose. So yeah, have a look at this stick, and then probably from there, I'll come up with a bit of a plan about what I'm going to do on the way home. I'm going to dive a couple of spots on the way home, try some new spots that I haven't dived before, and yeah, try and get home sort of just after lunch, hopefully. Alright guys, I'll have a really quick look at what I put on board, and then I'm going to pack it all up, get dressed and get in this water. It's really warm this morning. There's hardly any breeze, which was predicted. It's meant to be 10 knot variables today. Alright, so what I brought all my dive gear obviously. I've got a spare gun, spare shaft down in there. I keep my dive flag and everything down in there. I've got all my dive gear that I used yesterday just stashed in this side pocket, so I'm gonna rip that out in a sec. Now in terms of cooking, all I had was that little gas mate which you saw me boil the water on, cook the trout on, a few pots and pans, frying pan, bit of cutlery, bit of salt and pepper, stuff like that. All the ceviche gear that I had yesterday, and I've just got like spare, just random stuff. I've got way too much stuff. I've got like packets of chips and some lollies and a box of muesli bars, and yeah, I've got heaps, way too much food, but I more prefer to be looking at it than looking for it. Obviously plenty of water. Now I've used a lot more water than what I thought I would. I've got a big Yeti water bottle, and I've got a big Dometic water bottle as well. I burned through both of them yesterday. I've burned through another couple litres out of that water bag that you saw come in a box. I'm actually going to use that for the bottom of the flasher. But I've still got another 5 litres down in the bottom of the boat here, so I've still got plenty of water. But yeah, I definitely used more than what I thought, and I want to do some like shore dive hiking stuff. Obviously having enough water is a big thing, so need to have a bit more of a think about that one. But in terms of setup in the boat, that's just a self-inflating mattress, and I had another cheap one there, so I thought I'll throw that in underneath for a little bit of extra cushioning. Clothes, dive gear, filming gear, blanket, which I definitely didn't need. Sea change boating bean bags, which I didn't use either, so that really didn't need to come. But I did have a deck chair. I mean, I've got seats in the boat and I've got the esky I can sit on, but I just thought it'd be nice to have something a bit more comfortable, which I reckon it was. All right, I'm heating up, I'm sweating. I'm going to finish tidying this boat up and I'm going to get in the water. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find that stick that floated past just out here, probably about half an hour ago. It went around the point not long ago, so I should be able to find it again, see if there's anything on it. And then after that, I'm going to come back in here and just dive some of these bommies. There's a few little bommies along this edge here. A lot of bait getting around in here and stuff, so it'll be interesting to see if I can find anything just straight in here under the boat. It's only very shallow, it's only about 7 meters deep. And then I'll come up with a plan from there. But first things first, I need to pack this boat up. Let's see how quickly I can do it. I reckon I can knock it over pretty quick. Righto, let's pack up. See this little juvenile batfish, I'm pretty sure. He's been with me like the whole time since I've been here. Pretty sure that they partner for life, and they will like try and make partners, make mates. I'm not 100% sure, but I think he might now be going out with my Mercury. I'm pretty sure. Loving it down there. Anyways, first start up after being off all night. Pretty good. Yeah, so no luck finding that log. I was a little bit hopeful. I do have a feeling that it's just washed up onto the rocks just around the corner here. There's a few like little logs and stuff up there, and that's where it was kind of headed. But anyway, yesterday my dive watch, or the last few times I've been out actually, my dive watch has been playing up a little bit. And right now she's cactus, I think. I just pulled it out of the bag. I've had this watch for at least 5 years, maybe longer, and all I've done is change batteries in it. I've never changed a seal or never done anything, just go and buy new batteries, chuck a new battery in it, and it's been really, really good. It copped a beating through the boat rebuild as well. I wore it through all that. It's got flow coat and stuff all over it. There's a lot of dives on this dive watch. It's done really, really well for what I paid for it. Oceanic F10. And quite honestly, I'm pretty tempted to just buy the same thing again, but yeah, leave a comment below. The idea of like a GPS one is pretty interesting to me as well. So if I'm shore diving, I can mark spots. I reckon that sounds pretty cool. Do they work very well? Let me know, leave a comment, let me know what you guys use, what you recommend. And yeah, I definitely need to find a replacement. No intervals, so I'm gonna have to use my brain and do a little bit of maths. That's all right. There's a few bommies and stuff. I can see a little bit of white coral and up there. Then out off this point here, there's a bit of water disturbance out the back there. Looks like there's some good bommies out there as well. So I'll put my dive flag up and I'll swim this bit in here. And then I'll probably take the boat out and around the corner there because there is a bit of current around the corner there. So I'll anchor the boat down current and swim up current so I can dive and then I can work my way back to the boat rather than having to try and swim up to the boat after I finish diving, because that can be an effort.
As you can see here, there was plenty of bait. Like the day before, there just seemed to be a heap of bait around. Definitely not as much bait as on the pressure points that I was diving the day before, but this spot was alive with fish. It was really good to see. A lot of weed, a few little random patches of coral, some good bommies, and some trout. So I get down to the bottom here, I could see these couple of trout from the surface, and there was definitely a bigger one and a smaller one. They were both legal fish. I can spot the bigger one out the back here. I line up, it's facing me head on. I still take the shot, and what trout do is they can turn on a dime. So the second I pulled the trigger here, it's turned, and the spear's actually gone through its side there. So it ended up a pretty good outcome really, rather than going through its head and through the whole fish, through all the fillet. It's just sort of gone through its guts there, sort of the top, and dragged down through to the bottom of its guts. Process that guy. He headed up into the boat, and then after a little bit more swimming around, I found a bit of a congregation of a few different species, and I thought this looks like a promising little rock. It had a little edge under it, a little cave looking thing. So I head down here, having a little bit of a look around. I'm doing my best not to spook all these fish. There was some slaty brim there. You can see a small red emperor hanging around. There was a batfish, which are notorious for doing little darts and little boofs under the water and just freaking everything out. So I did my best to sort of slowly creep over. See a little small barcheek trout there, sort of darting around a little bit. I think that's a little angelfish swimming out at me there. Fish do spook slightly there, and I'm looking in. It's taken me ages for my eyes to focus here. There was a big cod getting around. I can see a smaller barcheek in there, and I thought I was looking at a cod, and then it sort of triggered, and I think that's a big barcheek, and it headed out the back, and I was like, yes, it is a big barcheek. Put a bit of a long shot in, and unfortunately the shot was a little bit low, didn't penetrate, and just pulled straight out. So hopefully that shot, it was, I reckon, down sort of towards the back of the fish by the time the shot got in there. I reckon that fish is fine, but yeah, it's a shame to lose that fish, a shame to injure a fish, and yeah, that was a big fish. Now this spot here, I did see what I'm calling the biggest bar cheek trout I've ever seen in the water. It was an absolute monster. I didn't get any footage of it, I just about swam over top of it. I backed up, turned the camera on, did a dive, and it just disappeared. But it was around this general area here, so I'm doing a dive here. That's a legal trout, you can see in that hole there. But I left it alone, I did a heap of dives, hoping to find that big one. So I head down, different approach, same edge, slowly work my way in around the front here. I can see a legal trout there. There's actually 2 legal trout sitting under there right now. Sort of creep around the side here. There's one trout staring at me head on. There's one just sort of turned sideways that you can't quite see until just there. You can see it sort of poking its head back in the hole there, and it's just sort of sat there. So I thought this is a good fish. It's around that 50 to 60 centimeter mark. Take the shot, and it headed straight into that hole, which I kind of thought it would. I did try and stay in it, but yeah, typical trout gut shot for me. Left it in there, headed up to the surface, got a good breathe up, calm down, head back down. Had a bit of a plan in my head before I went back down as well. I thought I'll find the spear, see if I can work the fish out, which wasn't hard at all. From that front side, it looked a lot worse than what it was. I get the fish out here, sort the shooting line out, and yeah, that's another really good bar cheek trout. Around that 55, 60 centimeter mark. Super stoked with that. If you could head out and get a couple of these fish every time you went out, you're laughing, I reckon. They're great eating, such good fish.
2 spots down this morning. Time to start heading in the right direction, start heading home. Gonna just basically have a look on the sounder and see if there's anything interesting on the way home. Might get a couple photos of these trout and get a roll on, I reckon. Righto. No fish off that one, but that was a really cool dive. That big Queensland groper was absolutely unreal. I've decided to call it for diving. I was gonna have another dive, but you know, it's after 12 now and I really need to get home, get this boat sorted. So yeah, we won't end this episode here. We'll end it at home on the filleting table. I don't know if I'll get to the filleting today, but I'll definitely do it tomorrow, so I'll catch us there filleting these fish. One Spanish. Really good fish. I dead set wasn't 100% sure that it was a Spanish when I shot it. It was in the murk. I don't know if it'll really come out in the footage or not. I knew it was a mackerel, I knew it was big, and I knew that there was a bigger grey mackerel swimming around. It wasn't until after it sort of took off and I could feel it fighting, I was like, I think this is a Spanish. But yeah, terrible shot. Look at the shot. Gut shot. If you ever see me not shoot a Spanish in the gut, make sure you leave a comment and just be mind blown, because every single time I shoot one of these things, it's in the gut. And every time I've got an excuse as well. I reckon that this fish is about 30 centimeters smaller than what it was, and I also thought it might have been a grey mackerel as well, but I think it was just a bit further away than what I thought, and I reckon that spear's dropped. That's my excuse anyway. So it'll be interesting to see the footage, see what actually did happen. Chris's second shot's not far off a stone shot. Yeah, awesome fish, heaps of meat off that guy. Couple of fat trout. They're really good island trout, really good. Another big fat trout. It's the one that already took the side off. One side off it. Now this is the grey. It's a good grey. Definitely one of the bigger greys that we saw. I took the back out of him, had him for sashimi, so I need to finish filleting him. Couple of squid. I reckon that's a pretty good effort. I reckon that's more than enough fish as well for me. Bag limit of trout is 7. I've got 4 trout this size. There was a couple that I missed that were bloody monsters. Biggest bar cheek I've ever seen. I don't think I got any footage of it. It was very smart. It was sitting up in the weed. It was really shallow. I just about swam straight over top of it. It was massive. Its head was huge. But anyway, I know exactly where I saw him, and I reckon he'll hang around there basically forever in that general area anyway. So I'll definitely head back and see if I can find him again one day. I'll pick the bigger trout and I'll weigh it. I'll weigh everything just out of curiosity. Won't weigh the squid. 104 to the fork and about say 113 roughly. The Spanish was 9.2 kilo. So about 56, 57 centimeters, something like that. 2.6. I reckon a big one that I saw would have been 3 times that easily. I wouldn't say average, I'd say slightly above average grey mackerel for what we get here in Mackay. It's about 80, about 90 to the tail. These guys have only got to be 60, so yeah, plenty legal. Nice fat fish as well. I'll weigh this guy, but it won't be super accurate because I took a big chunk out of its tail. But we'll have a look anyway, see what it is out of curiosity. Bit under 5 kilos, so it's probably just a touch over 5 before I knocked a bit of his tail off. And we're going to call it there, guys. I really hope you enjoyed that 2-day little mission. Not quite a solo mission, but not far off. I'm definitely really keen to do some more of it. It's a style of video I've never edited before, so hopefully you enjoy the edit, and obviously hopefully I'll get better at it. Click that little subscribe button, leave a comment if you've got any ideas for future videos. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Let me know what you think I should include or get rid of, stuff that you don't really want to see. Jump over on the Instagram if you don't already follow me on Instagram. You get an extra little clip in between videos on there, as well as some stories and stuff like that. Again, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode. Cheers.
Yummy. Bye-bye.